Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Whistle. My name's Eric and today we are refereeing Kings FC versus Prestbury Rovers in Cheltenham Division 1. Today we've got a early kickoff, so we're kicking off at 12:30 today. So I'm in a bit of a rush, so I'm going to get ready and I'll see you guys at the ground. Nice changing room. Yeah, we're at a university today, so on their 3G, their artificial grass pitch. So universities usually have quite nice facilities, so yeah, nice changing room, proper shower. As always, being on an artificial pitch, the pitch is occupied. So this means that teams won't be able to warm up fully before, and it makes it difficult to do a proper pitch inspection. Maybe not. Looks like the pitch is free. Happy days. So when you come onto an artificial pitch, you might see stuff like this. Now, obviously, you can't have the goal that close to the goal line, so you'll have to move it back. And yeah, there are always little things to check on an artificial pitch, especially because people have obviously used it before. Pitch inspection is actually quite important, believe it or not. Sorry.
Oh man, such a contrast from last week. Like, last week I really didn't enjoy it. This week I did. Yeah, it was great. 2 cautions, nothing too dramatic. Probably could have been more, but the game was played in good spirit, so I didn't really feel like it needed it. I think it'd be really good when we cover the footage, because some of these incidents in other games would 100% be yellow cards. However, in this game it wasn't, because the game was played in good spirit. It didn't really need it, and players didn't expect it to be a yellow card. So we'll cover that on how game expectations can be different. Just because something's a yellow card in one game in a certain minute doesn't mean it's a yellow card in another game on another minute.
One thing you might notice about the game is that the teams have the same shorts and socks on, and so do I. We all have black shorts and black socks. Now, in other countries, I've heard that this is not allowed, but in England, it is. Teams a lot of the time have black shorts and black socks. One, because everybody has them, and 2, I think it's easier to clean, right? If they get muddy, you can't really tell because it's black. It makes decisions like those quite difficult. In games where teams have the same shorts and socks, I actually always mention it to the captains before, just so there's a level of understanding that, look guys, I might not get these 100% right. Okay, it's very, very difficult to tell who it's come off. So bit of grace if there's some problems. The result was 4-1 to Kings. And the game got off to a very quick start. It really shows the importance of being ready from the first whistle, as something can happen straight away. So always be on your toes. Falls to the Prestbury fullback. He plays it into the centre mid, who loses it. We start to push in because we see that he might lose the ball, but then we see that he's going to regain possession again. So thinking that he's just going to knock it into this area here for the centre-back to come to, we slow down a little bit, but then he loses it, and we recognise that there's clear space for the Kings forward to run into. So we make a big sprint in, which is great, and you'll see that by the time the ball hits the back of the net, we're just on the edge of the box, which, yeah, super happy with, because if you guys have been watching the previous weeks, getting in closer to play and getting into the penalty area has been something that I'm working on. So this is, yeah, really great to see that happened. I would have driven more into the box, but as you can see here, I have to slow down a little bit, just in case this lad wants to run in and the ball falls. So we have to slow down, but then as we realise he's driving in, we can make our way into the box and get a good angle on what's going on. So, about 30 seconds in, and it's 1-0 to Kings. About 8 minutes into the game, we get a corner for Prestbury Rovers. So there we go. A big deflection from the defender takes it over the keeper. 1-1. So Prestbury break and have a chance. It's cleared by the defender and Kings go on the break.
Guys, work back, Archie! Sprint!
So the ball gets delivered in, it's cleared by the defender. We have to get out of the way, and we notice there's a break. So we need a little change of pace to catch up with play. And the lad cuts inside. The defender gets a small touch on the ball, so we let play run. Plays it out wide. 12 delivers, and it's a great touch from the forward. And yeah, a brilliant finish. Really happy with this. We kept up with play on the break. A good non-decision. We didn't stop play for a foul. We let play run, and a goal comes. The only thing I would cover is, again, as this ball comes in, I could still probably get on a slightly better angle. If we look, by the time the ball is struck, I'm dead straight on to what's happening here. Really, I should be round where this Kings player is here. This would be a much better angle to be able to see any fouls or anything like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty much happy. So there's a turnover in possession, and Kings have the opportunity to go on the counter-attack. And then we get a penalty appeal. So the ball's out wide and it gets crossed in. The attacker drops his head to win it, and the lad kind of backheels it in the air to try and clear it. If we pause here, it's hard to see. Do you guys think that that is a penalty? If so, do you think it's reckless play as well? Or serious foul play? Let me know. For me, the defender is completely within his rights to challenge for that ball. The attacker has dove in kind of waist height as they've jumped. Yeah, I don't think there's any foul play here by the defender. There are penalty shouts, as if you watched a couple of weeks ago, we cut the grass and this time we shout no, and we play on. There's not too much appeal from other players, so I don't think they expected it to be a penalty. It then breaks out and we have our first yellow card of the game. So 10 loses possession of the ball. They start running down the wing, and he cynically brings him down. As you can see, we call the physio on straight away because we know we're going to issue a yellow card, so we can bring him on. And he walks off knowing full well it's a yellow card. So as you can see here, the contact is actually quite high on the leg. It's above the ankle, kind of around the shin area, but he's deliberately brought him down with the laces of his boots. So no stud showing. It's just a cynical foul to bring him down. This is just a yellow card for me, just because the contact is high, the nature of the foul, there's no excessive force. This is just a cynical foul. He's stopping an attack. Can they convert the free kick opportunity? Three, 3-1 to Kings. As ball changes possession, I start running in, which is great. But here, I should recognise that there's only one way that ball is going to go. And that is obviously going to be into this area here. So I make the sprint after he's passed it, which is great. And I'm working an angle to make sure, to see if anything happens. But it's something I should notice from here. As I glance up, there's no other way, nothing else that's going to happen other than him driving in here. Or him playing the ball out wide. So as soon as this happens, I should start making my way in because he's 99% of the time he's going to play the ball that way. We do, but it's a bit late. It's after. It's a bit reactive, and so again, it's okay. But as I go to move through the levels, and I want to referee at the highest level possible, I've got to start being a bit more proactive in these scenarios. So here we have a free kick decision on the edge of the box. Let's see if we think it is worthy of a card or not. So the ball gets played in. We do well to get out of the way. The lad goes to take the shot, and the Presbury Rovers player just clips his heels and prevents him from taking the shot. For me, this was just a careless foul. There was no malice in it, and I don't deem this as a promising attack per se. Maybe as you go up through the levels, the expectation here is a yellow card, but for this type of foul at this level, I don't think players are expecting a yellow. There's no real questions about why I haven't carded him. Nobody asked for it. But be interesting to know. I feel like in the upper levels of the game, this is given a yellow card, but at grassroots, it's not the type of foul I ever really see given as a yellow. Nothing comes from the free kick, and then we have this big tackle to finish the half. Thankfully, that is half time because I had no idea whose throwing it was, so perfect timing. Also, I just remembered, massive thank you because we hit 200 subscribers last week. So we were just going through the edit for this week's video, and I thank you for 200 subscribers. But it's Wednesday, and now we've got 300. What is going on? Yesterday, I filmed this little thing to interrupt, to basically say thank you for 200 subscribers. Then we hit 300, and now we've hit 400. Right, so now it's later in the day and we've hit 500. This is absolutely nuts. Guys, thank you so much. The video is just about to hit 10,000 views and I cannot believe it. Just hoping that we can kind of share what it's like to be a referee in football, especially what's going on at like the top level. People thinking that the standard refereeing is going downhill. I'm just hoping we can bring a bit of perspective to it and bring football, you know, kind of back to its roots. First half is done, currently 3-1 to Kings. As you can see, the game has been played in good spirits, you know, no real bad behaviour. So let's jump straight into the second half. Another opportunity to look at positioning, this time it's positive. So the ball gets played out wide and we see that there's, you know, chance to break down. From here, we notice that this is a 50-50 opportunity, and in grassroots football and in football in general, a 50-50 is a prime opportunity for a foul to occur. So we try and get in on a good angle to see what's going to happen in the box rather than laying back in this central area. We come in, we've got a perfect angle on what's going to happen. Thankfully, there's a clean tackle, but we're right on top of it if anything is going to happen. So happy with that. So here we get a shout for a foul in the middle of the pitch. But I think this is, a good one to look at. So the ball gets bounced back. There's a tussle between the two, and the 9 pushes the Kings captain to the floor, and then has a lovely little nutmeg on the centre mid. The reason for me this isn't a foul is because they're both grabbing each other. You can see the Kings player is grabbing the front of the 9, and the 9 is holding off him on the front, and I've got the perfect angle on what's happening. In this case for me, the 9 gets his foot in front of him, puts his weight across and pushes him off the ball. This is a totally fine challenge for me. They're competing for the ball. This is just footballing contact. This is not a foul for me. So I think this situation here is a good opportunity to show how talking to players can help the game. So the captain clips this player here, and then as this lad tries to play, he's late and clips him here as again. As you can see, a couple of players are upset. So because we've had, there's 2 fouls in quick succession there. He's fouled the first lad, fouled the second lad. He's a bit late, but there's no force in it. He's just tried to, win the ball and is late. So in this situation, it's always great to have a word, especially because he's the captain. They're usually quite receptive, so you can have a chat. So I just say to him, mate, just settle down a little bit. I'm just having a word so that no one, reacts on you. Because sometimes if you don't have a conversation with a player after something happens, the other team might feel, like aggrieved almost that you've not had a word with them. And so they can sometimes take it upon themselves for the justice. So I just say to him, look, mate, there's not really much in it. Just be careful. But I'm just having a word so that, they don't get upset with you and you're not at risk. And he's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Cheers, ref. And this is something that I learned off a referee at my local RA. Yes, actually, if you're a referee, a new referee or an old referee, it doesn't matter, get in touch with your local RA. The Referees Association is kind of like dwindling in numbers. And, I think because people view it as a bit of an old man's club, but from my experience, that is not the case. There are lots of young referees, lots of referees at a really great level. My local RA has got a referee, was a former 2B, he's now a level 3. And I've learned loads from them, just from one evening of chatting. So if you're a referee and you've not got in touch with your local RA, do it. So here we have another yellow card decision. What do we think?
Good, Joe! In the box there!
So the ball gets thrown in,
Good, Joe!
and we break down the line. He gets nudged off the ball, he tries to win it and he clips the lad. For me, there was not a ton of force in this. Yes, it's a bit clumsy, but there's not a ton of force. To this point, the game had been played in really good spirits. I think if this was last week or the game before that, if you guys have watched the previous vlogs, this 100% would be a yellow card because the temperature of the game was quite high, and this would cause a lot of issues. For me, it was this player's first foul, and so I didn't feel the need to show a yellow card. We have a word with him and we say, mate, just be sensible, it's quite late, okay? He acknowledges it, we check on the player who's all right, and we get on with it. Do you guys think this is a yellow card? Do you guys think that there are situations where the same tackle can be a yellow card and it not be? Afterwards, the captain comes to speak to me and just says, oh, can you at least have a word with him? I mentioned I did have a word with him back then, and he says, oh, okay, cheers, ref, thank you. I'm not asking for a card, I just want to make sure you've spoken to him. So here we have really my first mistake, I guess.
Man up. Head out. Go on, Hart.
The ball gets played in, and we've got an opportunity to go through it on goal. The 2 pushes the 10, that then clips the 4. 4 goes down, and I see it as him clipping the heels. As you can see, I've got this angle here. So on this far side, I can't really see the push. There is a hand in the back, but I didn't really see the full motion. Again, with an AR, it's a lot easier, right? They'd be able to see this as well. So he gives him a nudge, which clips the 4 over. This is not a foul. This is not a foul against Presbury. It's the other way around. It should be a foul and a yellow card for the Kings captain. So I've missed this one, which is frustrating. Obviously, this player is also on a yellow card, so I've had a word with him to tell him to be careful. But in hindsight, he's got him to be careful of. He didn't do anything wrong. So that is my bad on this occasion. So shortly after, we have a throw in for Kings. So as the ball breaks, it gets squared across and the Presbury defender slides in to make the block. They score and catch him late. I run in to make sure that there's no afters because he's caught him late. I wanted to make sure there was no reaction there. So we get in close, that's okay. We check on him, make sure he's okay, he says he is. And then we, notice the Kings player limping off. But yes, do you guys think that this is a yellow card? Obviously the goals come in, but he's still late on the tackle. Would you give a goal in the yellow, or do you think a goal is just a punishment enough? So here we have an interesting one. There's a throw into Presbury, and let's take a look at what happens. So as the ball comes in, you shield it off. They're both grabbing each other, and then Six throws the Presbury player on the floor. We give a free kick because he's thrown him on the floor. Is this a compulsory yellow card just for the nature of the type of foul? Obviously, again, the game wasn't getting overly heated. So I've just given the foul and we can play because, yeah, you can't just throw somebody on the floor. But I was trying to think in my head, like, does this have to be a yellow card? And quite frankly, I'm still unsure. So Presbury have just made a substitution. This young lad comes on, and this is pretty much his first interaction with the game.
Go on, Harry. Just stand in. He's not going anywhere. Wait, yes, Jack. Harry. He's going all the way. Oh.
Mate, that would have been such a good goal. My word. He's absolutely rinsed like 6 players. Some run. Shortly after, Kings go on the break, and we get our second yellow card.
Go on, boys, work back!
Go at it, keep going!
Firstly, is he offside? I don't know. It's close. But in the grand scheme of things, they're 4-1 down. I think there's less than 10 minutes left in the game. The flag goes up straight away. We give it. There's a long time. Granted, it's a great finish, but this is a clear example of delay in the restart. Second yellow card, an annoying one to give, but you don't really have a choice. So here we somehow find Presbury's left back up on the right wing. So the ball gets played down the line, lovely bit of interchange, and then we see a lovely little step over from the 3. He gets fouled, and that is a free kick. A lot of people think this is a promising attack. For me, the reason I didn't give a yellow was because he was just shielding the ball into the corner. He wasn't making a direct run into this dangerous area here. Again, maybe a higher level. This is expected to be a yellow card, but again, for me, not a yellow card offence. You guys let me know what you think. Would you be given a yellow card in this area of the pitch, or is this just a foul for you as well? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is full time. Thank you so much for watching. We covered a few things in this video, so any thoughts, any ideas, please drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you guys would like to see in future videos, and we will do our best to keep improving. If somehow you got this far, please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in next week's vlog.